Hi everyone, welcome back. I just could not help myself. I cannot pull myself away from the Kiely Rodni case. I wanted to do another reading on it and just see what has changed, if anything, from my last reading. I do want to pull a couple of cards on some of the key players in this case, as far as just kind of seeing what the personality is like and what comes up. And I definitely want to pull a card or two each on Sammy and Kiely's friend Mags, and just kind of see personality-wise what we're dealing with here. I would also like to pull a couple of personality cards on Kiely herself, and just kind of see what's coming out tonight, like I said, and compare it to the last reading. I do feel like in this particular case that we are going to have some answers fairly soon. All right, I did a couple of readings on my own, privately, off camera, and I do feel like within a month's time we're going to have some information. There's going to be some information. All right, so I want to start out with just my regular Rider-Waite deck, okay? And I'm going to pull, first and foremost, I want to pull a couple of cards on Kiely, and just to kind of get an idea of what her personality was like, and see if I can pick up what her energy was like leading up to the party. All right. Kiely Rodni. What was going on? What was going on in your life leading up to this party? What was going on in your life leading up to this party? What was going on in your life? All right. What was going on in your life leading up to this party, Kiely? Alright, I'm going to cut the deck tonight. I usually don't. Alright, we're going to pull the top. Alright, partying. That's what it was on her mind. It came out upright. Having a good time, hanging out with her friends. That was her life, I think, at that time, right? Especially that night. So a little bit of both. I think we're specifically talking about that night, and I think that we're just talking about what was her priority at that time. She just graduated from high school. I'm sure she had goals and a future mapped out, but she was, I think, a very outgoing, friendly type of person, and was always up to have a good time. Whether it was just hanging out and watching movies, or doing something outside, or going to a party, whatever, that was her personality. All right, so that's definitely coming out. We have the Page of Pentacles. So what's that pentacle mean in her? What was valuable to her? What was she looking at? Okay. I like to look at those pentacles not just as money or something like that, but something valuable to the person. There was something that she was looking at. Was that pentacle representing her future, her goals? I think she had a lot of focus. All right, there was focus on something in her life. There was something there, I think, that was a primary focus. All right, because he's just looking at one pentacle. That one pentacle is important to her. And then we have the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is reversed. So I kind of feel like that's mom. I do feel like that's mom. And with it coming out reversed, it's not what I would expect for the Queen of Cups, because from all accounts, it seems like her and mom had a pretty good relationship. But this to me indicates that mom could be, not that they had a bad relationship, but maybe didn't see eye to eye on a lot of things. All right, maybe mom wasn't happy with, not the goal part. Well, it depends on what this Page of Pentacles represents, but maybe mom was not on the same page 100% with these things that Kiely was doing. Okay, and it could very well have just been her age. When you think about it, I really thought about it the other night, and I thought, okay, what if I was in the situation where I had a 16-year-old that was going to school with a bunch of 18-year-olds because she was pushed up a couple of years, and that was her friend group. Sometimes there's a big gap of what kids can do between the ages of 16 and 18. You're literally legally an adult at 18, so you have a little bit, I think, more leeway as far as what you can do, okay, than you do as a 16-year-old. And I can't imagine how challenging that could have been for her mom to know that her daughter is primarily in classes with these older students who are probably allowed to stay out later and do this and do that. And then here's Kiely at 16, and that's the people that she's going to school with, I would imagine. So you probably have this balance of, what do you allow her to do at the age of 16? What do you feel comfortable with allowing her to do? But then again, you have to take into consideration that she is pushed up with these older kids. So there's got to be some sort of balance there. And I feel like that was part of mom's problem. I feel like that's why mom is coming out reversed, because there was some mixed emotions on what do I allow her to do? What should I allow her to do? I trust her. Yes, she's smart, but she is 16. Okay, so there's something there that mom, I think, was struggling with. The Seven of Cups. All right, and I think that's coming out for mom and for Kiely. I think mom was very indecisive about certain things of allowing her to do. And I think it's coming out for Kiely because it represents where her mindset was that night at the party. All right, that Seven of Cups can sometimes represent a foggy mind due to alcohol, due to drugs, due to medication, whatever the case. It can be a multitude of different things. I think in this case we're talking about drinking. I think that this card does represent that, yes, there were drinks that night, that Kiely most likely, allegedly, this is all for entertainment purposes, it's just my interpretation of the cards, but I do feel like allegedly Kiely was drinking that night enough for her mind to be a little foggy, okay, a little bit not sure of her decisions that she was making, maybe not making the right decisions. We have the Emperor, so that's okay. I wonder who the Emperor is. Who's the Emperor? Who does that person represent? The Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups. The Moon. There's somebody here that's... Who's the Emperor? I've got the Emperor, the Nine of Cups, and the Moon card reversed. Sorry, my phone keeps going off. All right. Let me pull these off for a second and focus on these three here. These were my two clarifiers on the Emperor. So I'm not quite sure who the Emperor is, but this person is, I think, content with the situation. Now, this could be law enforcement, and they're not showing all their cards, but they're happy with what they have so far. All right, those trophies, I feel like, is the evidence that they've collected. All right, and they've got what looks to be a rainbow shape. So to me, that's, they've got something. They've got something, and we don't know about that yet, which would explain why the Moon is reversed. However, if it's not law enforcement, we've got a person here that's older, who is very, very pleased with himself about something that he has done. Now, do I think that, because when I think of Emperor, I think of an older gentleman. Okay, older as in physical age, hierarchy, maturity. That's why I pegged this person as law enforcement as a whole, or investigators, something along those lines. And I hope it's that. I really do hope it's that, because if it's somebody else, then I kind of get somewhat of a nefarious type feeling because of that Moon. All right, I feel like this person is hiding something. This person's pleased with themselves so far because they've been able to keep it under wraps. They've been able to get away with this, and that bothers me. The Moon being reversed, it just tells me that there's things that have not been brought to light yet. We're still discovering things, and we are going to learn those things. So that I'm kind of hoping that we are looking at law enforcement here. All right, Judgment. So that can be read a couple of different ways. Sometimes I look at that as a passing. Sometimes I look at that as literally what it is, judgment. Are we judging this whole case wrong? Is everybody looking at this in the wrong way? Could it be police? They're looking at it in the wrong way. There's something that we're missing. With that moon card, there's something that we're missing. Justice. And it's upright. So that's good. Now that makes me feel really, really good about the outcome of this case with the judgment and the justice right next to each other, side by side. I do feel like this is law enforcement. I do feel like that Emperor is law enforcement. I feel like they have something. They know something. They know something, but they have not said a word about it. They're keeping mums about it. They're not saying anything. They're watching and they're waiting. Look at him. He's just waiting. He's just waiting, and he looks content waiting, right? He's just sitting there. He doesn't have a full smile on his face, but he's content, right? So I feel like that's exactly them. I feel like they're just waiting for the right moment, and they have not said a word about this. This moon card to me is all about keeping it under the wraps, all right? Keeping it in the dark. So there's something I feel like law enforcement knows. They have something. They have something. The Hermit. Interesting, because in my last reading I kind of felt like there was some foul play going on. All right, now with the Hermit coming out, and it is a 9, so let's keep that in mind. That's next month. That's September. That's a 9, and he's got a light. He's searching. He's searching. That light is on. That light is bright. Number one, I feel like it's potential that Kiely could be alone. She could very well be alone where she's at. Okay. Number two, with the light, it makes me feel like that is finding what you're searching for, because this is upright. I feel like, again, Kiely will be found. Okay. I do believe that there's something is gonna be found. Either Kiely's gonna be found, something's gonna be found. But with this searching card coming up right next to the justice and the judgment and what I feel could potentially be law enforcement, I feel like this is really a good sign. And again, it's a number 9. I would not be surprised if by September or in September we have some information. We're going to have some light shed on this story. All right, we're going to kind of know what that moon stands for. And I'm just looking at the Hermit for a second. He's looking down. He's looking down. He's looking down. He's looking down. They need to look down. They need to look down. They need to look down. Straight down. They need to look straight down. Put a light straight down. 3 of Swords, heartbreak. So, yeah, that doesn't make me feel good about the overall outcome. That makes me feel like this is going to potentially be, and again, it's just my interpretation, this is going to be potentially a heartbreaking and devastating outcome. An outcome nonetheless, but not one that a parent would want as the outcome. Okay, that's, you know, some people will look at that as possibly 3 people, a love triangle, but I kind of, with the theme of the read so far, I feel like we're looking at the outcome. It's just not, it's devastating. It is just devastating. The 6 of Wands reversed, so we've got a little bit of ego, and it, you know, it's reversed, and I feel like with this particular card, it almost makes me feel like, was Kiely in a situation where she felt like maybe something wasn't right, but she didn't want to admit that she was, you know, maybe too messed up to drive, or You know, she didn't want to seem like she couldn't handle her alcohol, or she didn't want to seem like she couldn't handle partying. You know, she's with these older kids, and you know, they're driving around just fine and they're doing this, but she's, you know, thinking and feeling like, oh, oh God, if I leave now, or if I do this, or if I don't drive myself home, maybe they're going to think this of me. There's something like that with this card coming out. All right, because it is coming out reversed. And so I feel like there was a little bit of ego type involvement here with Kiely in feeling a certain way if she didn't do a certain thing. Is this kind of like a peer pressure type thing? Maybe, you know, she's not the type to, if somebody says, oh God, there's no way, there's no way that you can drive home. There's just no way you can drive home. Maybe she's the type of person that says, oh, you want to make a bet? I can drive home just fine. Just watch and see. Okay, I'll call you in the morning. See you later. Good night. And then she's going to drive home no matter what. It could be something along those lines, because that's the way I'm kind of leaning. Let me draw a couple more here. Okay, the Knight of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles reversed. All right, take these here. So we've got the Knight, oh, didn't take this one here. We've got the Knight of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles reversed. Okay, I'm looking at that Knight of Pentacles, and even though this is not what I felt in the first read, these cards are this is just the traditional Rider-Waite deck, traditional older images, so I don't have all the extra artistic type images that I'm looking at as clues. I'm literally just looking at these cards, the basic cards, and with this particular Knight of Pentacles, I feel like the horse represents the car. The horse represents the car. Okay, the person is Kiely. The person's in her car. She's in her car alone. She's by herself. There's no other person in this card. There's no other person in the Eight of Pentacles either. It's just her. And she's focused. She's focused. She's trying to focus. She's trying to focus. She's trying to go forward. She's trying to go forward. She's staring. She's staring at the Pentacle. She's staring forward. But she's not focused, because that Eight of Pentacles is reversed. She's not. She's trying to, but she's not focused. All right. Let's see what else we got. We got Temperance. Okay. Again, we look at these two cards. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. We've got the Knight of Cups. We've got one person on a horse. All right. Moving towards their destination, holding something of value. Was it a phone? Was she holding her phone? Was she, you know, was there something else that she was holding? There's something that she's holding. She's driving. She's holding it. She's staring straight ahead. She's focused on the road. She's driving down the road. She's trying to pay attention, but she can't. She's misjudged it. She's misjudged her ability. Okay, she did not want to, I don't feel like, wanted to admit that she couldn't drive home. She has misjudged her ability. She's working really hard at it though, but she can't do it. Yeah, she can't do it. It was a mistake. Six of Pentacles. The Eight of Wands. Speed. The Eight of Wands. Six of Pentacles. Six of Pentacles. Balance, imbalance. Communication. I would be interested in how many possible phone calls or text messages, if they were to ever be able to find her phone, who she contacted, because I feel like there's other people that she contacted that night that are not coming forward, because that Eight of Wands is usually communication, and it's speed, it's fast communication. However, I don't think, if she was driving by herself, I don't think she was actually speeding, or at least she didn't think she was speeding. She very well could have been, but did not think she was speeding, because this is all about speed. However, these two knights, the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups, are not really speeding cards. Yes, they're moving, they're going forward, but they're going forward at a slow and steady pace. So I don't feel like it's speed in the car that she was driving. Unless it was sudden speed. If it was sudden speed, maybe, you know, she was driving and she was trying to pay attention. She was driving slowly. You know, she's on these dark, windy roads. And then maybe all of a sudden something happened and she had sudden speed, which would explain the Eight of Wands. But it could also just be communication that she had with other people, communication that she had through the night or throughout the night. There's something here, okay? There's something here. And then we have that Six of Pentacles. So let me look at this one for a second. What I'm noticing with the Six of Pentacles right off the bat, what I'm picking up in this one is the Justice scales. The scales of justice, all right? They're balanced in this card. This is a balance card. We've got two people kneeling. I mean, it could just very well be that there is going to be you know, some answers in this case, and it might not be, and let me just put this out there, it might not be that anybody is per se responsible directly for what happened to Kiely. I have yet to get into the reading because I do want to pull a couple of cards on Mags and Sammy. I don't like necessarily the way that Sammy has come out and the way they're, I don't know, there's something that rubs me the wrong way with Sammy, and it could very well just be because maybe she just doesn't care about Kiely as much as she's portraying. Not that she necessarily has anything to do with her disappearance, but it could be a little bit of guilt because of the fact that she did leave her there and knew that she had been drinking, allegedly. So it could very well be that, you know, just the fact that there is going to be some sort of outcome in this case, and although devastating, it's not going to be what we all could be thinking, including myself, all right? And then that Nine of Swords. So the Nine of Swords, like I said, I feel like this is regret. This is like, wow, I can't believe I did this. I cannot believe I did this. I can't believe I did this kind of a feeling. That's what I'm getting. With the Temperance card, I don't get a very good feeling with the Temperance card because I look at that as peace. Okay, this is peace and balance. And so I feel like, yes, it's a good card, but in true crime, it takes a different connotation. And I don't want to say anything for sure because I don't know. This is not factual. Okay, I don't know. I'm just going by the interpretation of a card, but it does give me a certain vibe about Kiely's condition. Okay, so now let me go ahead and add those back in. I want to pull a couple of cards on Sammy and get a feeling for Sammy's personality and her role that night. I also want to see if we can get a reading or an idea if Sammy drove herself home that night or if Sammy got a ride home like she's claiming, because she does kind of slip up in that one interview and say, you know, yes, Kiely called me while I was riding in the passenger seat. I think we've all seen that clip where she kind of slips up, and so I do feel like Kiely was driving, but if she was driving, what car was she driving? Because I don't believe that she drove there in her own car. I don't even know if she owns a car, so it's like, if you were driving, whose car were you driving? So I'm a little bit curious to know about that. All right, so this one is Sammy Smith. Sammy Smith. Some information on Sammy Smith. What do we need to know about Sammy Smith? Sammy Smith. Ah. Queen of Swords. So, we had the mom come out on Kiely's card, and I feel like Kiely's mom is coming out a little bit more emotionally supportive and just a little bit more compassionate. When I see the Queen of Swords reversed, I feel like this is Sammy's mom. Complete opposite. Complete night and day in their mothering. All right? Sammy's mom is kind of a cutthroat type person. Doesn't care. Does not care if she hurts your feelings, if she insults you, embarrasses you. She just doesn't care. So interesting that mom is the first one that comes out on Sammy's read. Okay, I do want to cut these two. Eight of Wands reversed. Eight of Wands reversed this time. So we've got the Eight of Wands for Sammy as well. So to me, that is confirming communication between the two of them. This is communication. I think that there was a lot more communication between Kiely and Sammy than what Sammy is admitting. Why would she lie about that? If they were together all night, you know, why? You know, it's possible that they were texting each other. They could very well be at the same party and go off on their own and text and say, hey, where are you? I'm over here. You know, let's meet over there by the tree, by the car. There could be a lot of those little text messages, and I think that that's very well what it is. But there could be some other things going on as well. And why hasn't she said that? You know, I don't know. Maybe she has to the authorities, and I guess that's what counts. It's also coming up next to mom. Okay, this communication card is flipped. It's reversed. So mom, to me, has told her to stop. Mom has told her to stop communication. Now, I know that there's some rumors going around online that mom could be an attorney. That very well may be. You know, I'm going to probably assume that that's the case. So with mom coming up as the Queen of Swords reversed, I believe it. I believe it. All right. And kind of potentially maybe I'm not overly fond of the Queen of Swords reversed. Okay. That can be somebody that's mean. That can be a cold person. But I feel like with it coming up next to the communication card, I do feel like mom is behind Sammy not coming out these past couple of days. Mom has said, absolutely, you're stopping it. Not another word. Not another word. We have the Eight of Cups reversed, walking away, turning their back. Turning their back on what and who. I feel like that is a little bit of the mindset that Sammy is going through right now of turning her back on, quote unquote, her friend, right? Her alleged best friend. Which, whether true or not, I do feel like there's some guilt there that she left her. Okay, she left her. She left her someplace. She left her someplace. Now, whether it was at the party, whether it was someplace else, we've got water, we've got mountains, how convenient. We're outside, but it's like she turned her back on her. She turned her back on her and left her. And I don't feel like... Let me flip it right side up or upside down again. Eight of Cups. I'm not quite sure if it was intentional or if it was just a lack of judgment or just because she simply didn't care and, you know, 18-year-old, 16-year-old, 17-year-old, hell, even 30-year-olds, 40-year-olds sometimes take things for granted. They don't think things are going to happen. Oh, she'll be fine, whatever. We were at a party last month, same thing, everything was fine. She'll be good. I'm going to go home. I'm tired. I don't feel like staying here anymore. I'll call her in the morning. She'll be fine. It could be just something as simple and sad as that, but there's something here. There's something here about turning her back on Kiely. The Seven of Wands. That's her situation now, all right? Being defensive. That's her situation now. That's the position she's put herself in. I do feel like because of her choices that night, she does feel like she has to defend her actions now, and she's not doing it very well, all right? What she came out as, it didn't help her any, because people looked at it like, oh, well, if you guys are best friends, how are you going to leave your best friend and you know that this person's been drinking And you know they drove there, and you know, one thing that's always stuck out at me is that we know that Kiely sent her mom a text message asking if she could have her curfew extended, okay, to whatever time. I'm assuming that if Sammy were Kiely's very close friend, like she states, and they were together all night, like she states, and they were even charging each other's phones in Kiely's car, and they were drinking from the same cup, wouldn't you know that your friend had a curfew, that your friend had to be home at a certain time? So then why would you assume later on that they were going to spend the night? If I had a friend and I was out with them and I knew that they had a curfew, they had to be home at 11:30 or midnight or 12:30 or whatever, and I know it's that time, I'm going to be like, oh my God, how are you going to get home? Did you ask your mom if you could stay out later? Are you going to get in trouble if you spend the night? I mean, do you want me to, you know, I don't know. It would be odd. I just wouldn't make the assumption that they were going to spend the night if they have a curfew. So that has always kind of bothered me. But this is definitely her stance right now. And she feels like she's losing the battle, really is what it is. She's losing the battle. She has lost the battle already. All right, Ten of Pentacles. So, her family. Her family. This is her family. Her mom came up first. Now we've got the whole family. Mom and dad. Why is it coming up reversed? I feel like this has something to do with the support of her family. Something to do with the support of her mom and dad. Like they're going to back her no matter what. They're going to back her no matter what. That could be why it's coming out reversed. Because it's no matter what. Whether she did something wrong, whether she hasn't told the truth, whether she has left something out, mom and dad are going to back her at whatever cost. The Knight of Cups. Same card that Kiely came out with, the Knight of Cups. Interesting, because when it came out for Kiely, I said, excuse me, I said that it was her driving her car. I feel like it's the same thing for Sammy. I feel like it's coming out for Sammy driving. And Sammy was in a similar condition as Kiely. I do believe that. I believe that part of her story because of that card. They're sharing that card. They both come out as the Knight of Cups. So I feel like they were both driving slowly. They were both focused and trying to pay attention to the road and get to their destination. This to me makes me feel like Sammy was in a car, I don't know whose car, but in a car, and was potentially the one behind the wheel and driving it alone, by herself. We have the Ten of Wands, so she's definitely in a very stressed situation right now, and she's feeling it. She's feeling the pressure. She's feeling the heat. All right, and I felt that way with the Seven of Wands reversed. Okay, she's very, very much so in the defense stance at this point, and it's not helping her. I don't think that she's doing very well emotionally. Okay, spiritually. I mean, she's just kind of like done. She's done. She didn't know the backlash that she was going to receive. I think she expected the opposite. Okay, and it didn't turn out that way. Now we've got the Five of Swords reversed. So there's some sort of friction somewhere. There's something here. Let me take these other cards out of here. All right, so Five of Swords reversed. That alludes to some sort of dispute of something. All right, let me look at it. We've got two people walking away. We've got a battle here, okay? We've got a winner and we've got a couple of losers. And we've got this person here out front. This person out front is Sammy, because that's the person I'm reading on right now. So who are the two people walking away? And she's got that smirk on her face like, I told you I was going to win. No matter what, I told you I was going to win. So there's something along that lines that happened at this party, okay? I don't think that Sammy and Kiely were on the good terms at the end of the party time as much as Sammy is portraying. There's something here going on between these two girls. There's something. With this Five of Swords, there's something going on. Three of Pentacles. Still got to pull on mags. 3 people. So at least 3 people that know what happened. 8 of Swords, 8 of Swords. And you remember, this is Sammy. This is Sammy's reading. This is not Kiely. So this is Sammy's reading. And this kind of goes along with that 10 of Swords. Or that 10 of Wands. Sorry, the 10 of Wands. So kind of feeling... you know, just that feeling of being trapped, not being able to get out of this situation. Problem is what does she feel trapped about? Let me ask a clarifier. Why does Sammy feel this way? Is it just because of public opinion and, you know, assumptions? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the public think. If you know you didn't do anything wrong, you didn't do anything wrong. You're not going to be, I don't think, spiritually and emotionally and physically depleted if you know at the end of the day you didn't do anything wrong. Could be just that she's guilty for leaving Kiely at this party alone, right? That she knew she had been drinking and she left. Could just be that. Could be something else. But why is she feeling, oh, damn, the Tower. Okay. The World card reversed. All right, so the 2 clarifiers on this one. We've got the Tower, which isn't good, and the World card. So somebody's cycle ceased to exist that night. All right, that to me kind of goes with that Judgment card, even though we are reading on Sammy. The World card, why is Sammy's world come to a complete halt? Why has Sammy's world exploded like this? What happened that night for Sammy to have such devastation? And that leads me to believe that yes, there is something else. There's something else that is important that happened that night. Regardless of if Kiely was in her car driving alone, or if Sammy was in her car driving alone, or in a car driving alone, or somebody's car driving alone. Something happened that night that has literally devastated Sammy. Okay, that Tower card, I don't think it's just the disappearance. I don't think it's just that. There's something that happened. There was disaster somewhere, and then you couple that with that 5 of Swords reversed. It's like there's something going on here. And it's almost like her world has come crashing down on her, because that's exactly what these cards are saying. These cards are literally saying that Sammy's world has literally collapsed underneath of her. And she does not know what to do. She does not know how to get out of this situation. It's almost like her world has ended right now. That is very, very significant for someone who didn't do anything. All right? So that bothers me. Same card as Kiely. She likes to party too. She likes to party. We've got 2 3s now. So we had that 3 of Pentacles. We've got the 3 of Cups. Who's the third party? I have not read on Megs yet. I'm going to read on Megs here in a minute. Or Mags. I don't know if it's Mags or Megs. But we've got 3 girls here having a good time, partying, doing whatever, and then all hell breaks loose. Something happens. Didn't turn out the way you had expected. Wasn't happy with how it turned out. I don't think she was pleased with the way the party turned out. Wheel of Fortune. Something went wrong. Something went wrong. The Wheel of Fortune reversed. Something that they didn't plan on. Something that wasn't anticipated happened. They were just having a good time. Everything was fine. I don't think that with that 3 of Cups, I don't think that there was any kind of premeditation or any kind of luring or anything like that. It just makes me feel like some shit went down at this party and it just wasn't good. All right, let me pull a couple more cards on Sammy. Yeah, 10 of Swords reversed, and then we've got the 4 of Wands reversed. So the 10 of Swords is not a good feeling card. That's a betrayal. Does she feel like she's been betrayed by someone? I feel like that's more it than her betraying someone else, since I'm reading on her. I feel like she feels betrayed. She feels like someone betrayed her. And we've got that Foundation card. We've got that you know, again, Foundation, Tower, 4 of Wands. It's like the opposite of a celebration. It's like whatever this was supposed to be, it turned out into being the complete opposite. This was supposed to be a fun night. This was supposed to be a celebration. This was a graduation party. But it ended up being an absolute disaster. And I think that this goes deeper than the fact that Kiely is missing. I think it is what led up to Kiely going missing. There's something that happened prior to Kiely going missing. All right, let me shuffle again and then pull a couple of cards on Mags. All right, Mags. What do we got for Mags? Okay, what's going on for Mags? What's going on for Mags? What do we got for Mags? I'm going to take this one. I was hanging out. Alright, the Empress. Isn't it amazing how all three girls, a mother figure has come out for the very first card? So for Kiely, we had the Queen of Cups reversed. For Sammy, we have the Queen of Swords reversed. And then now for Mags, we have the Empress reversed. They are all coming out reversed, and they're all mother cards. They're all mother cards. So what is up with that? What's up with that? And then we've got another 3. So we've got 3 here that seems to be coming up as a prominent number in the reading. And there's something going on with their mothers. There's something going on with the mothers. They all coming out reversed. That's so interesting. While I was shuffling, I was like, okay, if this is going to be another motherly type card, and that's exactly what it was. I'm just blown away at that. What's going on with the moms? What's going on with the moms? But let me focus on Mags first. All right. Nine of Wands. We have the 8 of Pentacles. Queen of Wands. Interesting. All right, so we have, let me see. Contentment. Some sort of battle. Some sort of battle. Lack of trust. All right. I'm worried about what that 9 of Wands represents, because that's a battle that someone has survived through. They've made it through, okay? They're still standing is what it is. And I feel like there was a little bit of, at least for that night, there was a little bit of, yeah, that's right. You're damn right I'm still standing. I'm still okay. And I keep going back, like how I did in my first reading in my mind, I keep going back on that play fighting that Sammy alludes to in her interview. No, there was no fight. There was no fight. Nothing was going on. Sometimes we just have like these play fights. We have boxing gloves and, but, it's just for entertainment, to keep entertainment going. And sometimes I'll admit that, there are fights that break out over who won the fight, but not that night, right? That's pretty much in a nutshell what Sammy has said. And I'm looking at this battle card and I'm thinking to myself, was there a fight that night? And was there someone who came out as the person that was the winner? Maybe got a little brushed, got a little bruised up, but overall was content with the way with what they did, how they came out. They were happy. They were happy with the outcome. This is Mag's reading, so there's something there. Mags is also pulling the 8 of Pentacles reversed. So again, that's all about Eight of Pentacles reversed. 8 of Pentacles reversed. Now see, when it came up with Kiely, I felt like it was a lack of focus. She was trying to focus. She was trying to focus on I feel like driving home, but just could not. So it could be just that as well. I think all three of these girls were drinking that night. All three of them were drinking that night. But there's something here. Now, Mags is saying she was only there for 10 minutes. She was only there for 10 minutes. And we've got the Strength card reversed. I look at the Strength card as a trust. I don't think of it as strength or inner strength or anything like that. I always look at it as a trust card, because these two can only get close to one another if there's a mutual trust and respect. Trust and respect, right? You got to have that in order to get next to a lion, or to have a lion get next to you. So these two trust each other with their lives. All right? There was no trust or mutual respect between these friends, including Mags. And this card did not come up with Sammy. It didn't come up with Kiely. It's coming up with Mags. So there's a lack of trust and respect, all right, coming from her. Now, I don't know if she just didn't trust Kiely, if she didn't trust Sammy, but it's mutual, okay? So I don't feel like there was just this strong bond of, I'll do anything for you. You can trust me with your life. I'm getting the exact opposite. These may have been very close friends, maybe. The Three of Cups has come out a couple of times, so at least they were party friends. Maybe that's what they were. Maybe that's the depth of the friendship. They were party friends. Because I feel like this coming out for a friendship is not a good indication that that's a strong friendship. That's not a trusting friendship, that you can really trust this person. They got your back. They don't got your back. They don't care. And then we have another Queen of Wands again. So what's up with we've got a lot of feminine energy here. I've got those three moms that have come out in the beginning of each girl's reading. And now I've got another one coming out. Who's the Queen of Wands? Who's the Queen of Wands? Now we've got the King of Swords reversed. So we've got a male and a female. We've got a male and a female. The Ten of Cups. Family. It's got to be family. It's got to be mom and dad. Who the hell is the Empress then? It's got to be mom and dad. Why are they coming out? Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. Why are they coming out? The High Priestess. Sorry, I know you guys can't see those. Let me put them up. Alright, so I've got the King of Swords reversed. Well, actually it was this. And then this. Makes me almost wonder if her parents are pissed at her, because there's an image that they like to, there's an image that these families, and I think it goes for all three families, there's an image that these families like to put out as a facade that everything is perfect, that everything is great. I looked into Truckee. I went on to Zillow and I looked at Kiely's parents' lodge, and price ranges on Zillow in Truckee area range from anywhere between $800,000 to $8 million and everything in between. But you're not getting anything there for less than $800,000. All right. So this is a pretty, I would say, affluent area. It seems like it's a tourist type area. Lodges where people can stay. So it to me, if you're there, you're affluent. Okay. I could be mistaken, but it seems like from what I've seen on Zillow, it's definitely, there's something there. And I think that this whole situation has put a dark cloud over the image of these families. I think that there's a certain mask that these people in that area like to have on. And especially, there's something here in particular about Mag's parents. I'd be curious as to what Mag's parents do for a living. We kind of have our suspicions about Sammy. We know what Kiely's parents did. They owned the lodge. I don't know if they did anything outside of that, but that probably, is a full-time job and a half. So I don't know what Mag's family does. I'd be curious to know what Mag's family does, because I feel like they're more, I think the parents are, in Mag's situation, the parents are more concerned about image. They're concerned about their daughter being associated with this situation, with the drinking, with the partying. They don't like that, okay? They knew that that's what she was doing, but it wasn't in the media. People weren't talking about it on YouTube, and they don't like how they don't like that. Let me see what else is coming out for Mags. All right. She also feels trapped. She has similar feelings as Sammy, so that's very interesting, since the Three of Cups and the Three of Pentacles have come out. So we've got similar feelings between Sammy and Mags, and it could be just because they left, right? Mags supposedly left with her boyfriend. Sammy supposedly got a ride home, although I feel like she was driving. That's just my opinion. But they're coming out with similar cards, so there's something here that they're not saying, because I think it's just a little bit more than just feeling a certain way because they left their friend, but it could be that. Now we've got the Six of Pentacles, but this time it's reversed. There's a little something more, I would say almost, I'm getting, and this is strange because I felt like in the beginning that Sammy was like the number one, like, red flag. I feel like after the reading, Mags to me bumps up to number one and Sammy number two. There's something here that's coming up with with Mags that just bothers me. Damn, we've got the Tower again. We've got the Tower again. We're getting similar cards. Something happened that night. Something happened that night. That Tower is something more than what we know. Oh, damn. The Seven of Swords. Okay, reversed. Mags is not to be trusted. Mags is not to be trusted. Something is going on with Mags. I would have never have guessed. If I would have guessed a reading, I would have guessed that this reading would come out for Sammy and not Mags, but Mags is the one that is now coming up to me as something's going on. There's deception. There's deception with these girls. They're not telling the full story. There's something that happened that night that just destroyed everything, that just devastated everything. I want to stop really quick because I want to pull a different deck, and I want to ask why, well, number one, not why, but if people were leaving at 12:30 like the rumors are saying, right? We're hearing these stories. I don't know if you guys have heard, but if you're following this story, you probably have, that there was a convoy of cars leaving around 12:30. Why were there a bunch of people leaving around 12:30? That's kind of early for a party, right? To leave a party at 12:30. That to me seems a little early. To me, 12:30 is when the party is probably just getting started. And then you go until what, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, sometimes all night. Why leave at 12:30? Unless either, maybe you're going someplace else, maybe there's another party, or, maybe the cops are coming, or maybe somebody has said that the cops were coming, or something happened. There's a few reasons why I could think of as to why a person or a group of people would leave. So let's see if that happened, and if it did happen, why did it happen? Alright, did people leave around 12:30? And they did. Why did they leave? Why did they leave? What was going on at 12:30? What happened at 12:30? To me, if the Tower comes out for this, then something quite serious and to me catastrophic happened at the party. Right now, I'm still under the impression that maybe there was some sort of a fight, maybe there was something going on, but I feel like as of right now, it's possible that Kiely got into her car and drove by herself home, but was not in the condition that she thought she was. Okay, she underestimated her abilities. But there's also something else here going on. Okay. All right. So So why were people leaving? Why were people leaving? There were people leaving. I would bet that people were. I feel like with this too, this Two of Swords is a decision. It's making a choice. So there was a choice that had to be made with a group of people. There was something that happened that said, okay, you know what? We either are going to stay or we got to get out of here. One of the two. The Eight of Pentacles has been stalking us tonight. We've got the Eight of Pentacles again. Okay, detail-oriented, working, focused. Focused, working, drive, ambition, determined. What's the Eight of Pentacles about tonight? What's the Eight of Pentacles? Okay, this is a clarifier. We've got the World card again, reversed. Let me just put it next to it. As a clarifier, another clarifier, we've got the Four of Wands. Four of Wands has come up a couple of times, so Four of Wands can sometimes symbolize, you know, a relationship, a marriage, home, foundation, all that good stuff. It's, you know, get together, a party, what have you. It can be a church, literally. So we've got the Four of Wands, we've got leaving, making the decision to go. Got to decide what to do. We've got to make a choice. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? It's a choice. We had to make a decision. We had to make a choice to leave. Couldn't really figure out what to do. Didn't really know what to do. But they had to choose something. They had to work on something. They had to work on a plan. They had to work on something. It's like their world crashed. Their world ended that night. Something happened that ended their world. What is the Four of Wands? Right next to the Three of Wands. Explorations. We've got boats, we've got water, we've got standing on the side of the water. You're looking out at the water. I mean, look at this layout here. We got to decide what to do. We've got to come up with something. We've got to work on something. We've got to work on a plan. We've got to make a decision. We've got to make a choice. We've got to do it. I don't want to do it, but we got to do it. Something has happened. If we don't work at figuring out a solution, our lives are over as we know it. Our worlds are over as we know it. It was a lot to bear. It was a lot happened. I mean, there's a couple of kids here, and I would guess that the two that we're reading on tonight, in particular, they have a lot on their shoulders. They're really carrying some sort of a weight. There's something here going on. Something's going on that's more serious than just drinking and driving. Spark went out. The spark went out. Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands reversed. It wasn't a good plan, though. It wasn't. It was an idea, but it wasn't a good idea. It wasn't the best idea. They made the wrong choice. It was the wrong idea. It was the wrong choice. They made the wrong choice that night. Regret, depression, Five of Cups reversed. Embarrassment, shame. We've got the cups, we've got drinking, we've got water. I'm not, besides that Five of Swords, I'm not necessarily getting anything. It's almost like I'm getting two different things. It's almost like something happened at the party. Yes, something happened at the party. But then I feel like Kiely gets in her car and leaves and is trying to drive, but she cannot. She's forcing herself. She's trying to drive. She's trying to focus. She's paying attention. There could have been an argument between the girls prior to that. That could be why everybody, you know, when I think about these three girls, they're all friends, right? Supposedly, allegedly, according to Sammy, they're all like BFFs. They're all best friends. They all care about each other. They love one another. They say, I love you when they hang up the phone. And this was a party that was in the works for how many weeks? This was a party that was planned for a while. A party that was planned for a while. They had, you know, I believe that Sammy talked about hanging the lights that we see in the one picture. They hung lights out here at the woods. Okay, this is something that had been planned and in the works. And you're telling me that you only stayed for a short time and then you left? Why? You've been working on this party, you've been planning this party, you're out there, you're hanging lights, and you're doing this, and you're doing that, and then all of a sudden you just go there and you're there for like, what, an hour, maybe 2 hours max, and then you just hightail it out of there? Mag's not even that long. Mag's only stays 10 minutes, according to her. She stays 10 minutes, she leaves with her boyfriend. You know, and then Sammy, you know, this is a person who says that if anything, you know, she felt overwhelmed, and if anything she usually feels underwhelmed, so I guess that means that most parties are boring to her. I don't know, they're not entertaining enough, but this was too entertaining, this was too wild for her. Even the likes of her, it was just too much, and she just couldn't handle it, and she decided to leave. Why did these girls just part ways into separate directions after such a short period of time? What made them part ways? What made them part ways after such a short time? What was it that made them part ways from one another after such a short time? What made them part ways after such a short time? Let me go ahead and cut the deck again. What made this group of girls part ways after such a short amount of time? Oh my God. Three of Cups again. Yes. What made you split up, though? What made you split up? The Stars reversed. The Sun. The Nine of Swords. The King of Pentacles. The Fool. Okay, so let's see what the story tells us. We have a male energy coming up. Okay, so as far as my question is concerned, what made these girls part ways? There's a male coming up, and it's this King of Pentacles. So let's put him aside. I don't know who he is, but he potentially could have something to do as to why these girls split up. The Nine of Swords to me it's a problem card. It's a problem card. There's some issues between these girls. It's being portrayed as this, okay? And it could have very well been that at one point, but something happened that night where this ended up being the result, all right? Whatever friendship was going on, it's like it ceased to exist that night. Something happened. All was well, and then it wasn't. So what the hell happened to these girls to create this Nine of Swords type feeling? And then we've got the Sun, and we've got the Fool. The Sun card for me sometimes, and not a lot, but typically if I'm reading for true crime, it can have kind of a spirit connotation to it. You know, a freedom, a let go, a rebirth type thing. And that is not what, you know, I mean, that's just how I look at the Sun when I'm reading for true crime sometimes. So I've kind of got that like nagging at the back of my head that something happened devastatingly. We've got the Spirit card popping up in between all of this chaos, and that bothers me. Okay, so, and then there's this male. There's this older male. He's an older male. He's older than 20s. All right, this king here, this king is somebody older than their 20s. And then we've got the Fool. So just this carelessness, this everything's going to be okay, it's going to be fine, nothing's going to happen, nothing bad's going to happen. What is this event? What is this event that happens? Why was everything going along great? And then what's going on? What happens? Tell us what happens. Page of Pentacles. Got the Woods, the Devil. Damn. Damn, the Devil and Death. Page. Who's the Page of Pentacles? Who's the Page of Pentacles? Because that's coming out next to the Devil and the Death card. The Page of Pentacles. There was some dark shit at that party. There's something going on at that party that there's a reason why nobody's talking. There's a reason why nobody's talking, and I feel like a minimum of 3 people are aware of what it is. Something's going on. And the fact that the Death card is coming out reversed, that Death card usually doesn't mean death in like a literal death, right? In tarot, we all know that it's more of a, metaphoric death, okay? It's the dying of an old way and, allowing the new way to come in. So that's what it is. But it's reversed. And so it's not allowing that transition to happen, okay? I'm looking at that as the secret's coming out. People aren't talking. People aren't saying. People aren't saying what that devil is. People aren't talking. They're not going to talk. There's this Page of Pentacles that is at the forefront of this, okay? Whoever that Page of Pentacles is, I don't know, but they're at the forefront of this. They're standing right there in front of that devil, and they're looking at the devil. They're looking at the devil. She's looking at this devil right here. And it's almost like she's making this kind of like an offering. So it's like she's doing something. She's doing something nefarious, and she knows what she's doing. She knows that she's doing something bad. She knows that she's doing something wrong. She's offering something. She's giving something. What was she giving? What was she giving? Is it a drug? Is it a drink? Is it something along those lines? But she's giving something. And it's not to be trusted. It's not good. It's not good. It's like something was given to somebody. It's almost like I feel like it could be potentially something that was given to Kiely, and it really messed her up. Maybe she was drinking throughout the night. I don't know. Maybe I feel like she was with that 7 of Cups, but I feel like there was something else given to her. And maybe not necessarily with bad premeditation or thinking that it would harm her in any way, maybe thinking it was fun. I mean, we know that a lot of things are laced nowadays, and if there were drugs at this party, could one of the friends had said, hey, try this, take a hit of this, or try this, somebody just gave me that, or I dare you, right? Because Sammy says that Kiely was willing to jump off cliffs if that's what you dared her to do, right? She was willing to do anything. That kind of represents this Fool right here. Not saying that Kiely's a fool, but just that carelessness, not carelessness, it's coming out wrong. It's like that taking chances, she was a risk taker. She didn't think anything would happen. She was a risk taker. Is it possible that one of the friends said, hey, I got some of this, try it, test it, we dare you. I don't know. We've never tried it before. Maybe it's something new. Somebody gave them something. They never took it before, but they said, hey, Kiely, you test it out for us. You make sure it's safe before we take it. I don't know. Just throwing it out there. Kiely takes it, and boom. Night is over. Night is over. We've got someone that is all of a sudden sick, not doing well. And then you've got people freaking out, and you've got people leaving. You've got people getting out of there. They don't want any part to do with that. They don't want anything to do with that. Kiely knows something's wrong with her. She gets into the car. She's working. She's trying so hard to focus. She's trying so hard to focus. She's trying to drive. She's trying to see. She's trying to pay attention to the road. She's trying to stay on the road. She's alone, but she's trying. And she can't. She just can't. Something happens between the party and trying to get home. She just can't get home. Sammy gets out of there too, because Sammy wants to distance herself from the whole thing. Mags wants to get the hell out of there, right? They don't want to. They don't want to have anything to do with it, because God forbid they get pulled into it. I mean, what if they have to come out and say, yeah, you know, we got something from somebody. There was some pills there or whatever, and you know, we dared her to take a couple, and she did, and she got sick, and she, you know, tried to get out of there. We didn't want to call anyone because we didn't want to get into trouble. I really feel like it's something along those lines. I really do, with this card here. This death card reversed makes me think of two things. Number one, a literal death, which is exactly what it's usually not, but it, again, in true crime, it's a little bit different for me. And then we've got the fact that it's reversed, and I feel like these girls, along with that strength card reversed, are not talking. They are not budging. They are not budging. The devil would represent the drugs. Okay, the devil is the drugs and the people that brought the drugs in, which could very well be that King of Pentacles. All right, now the King of Pentacles is coming back into play. Who was that King of Pentacles? Well, that's the older guy. That's the older guy. Where the hell did that King of Pentacles go? Right here. The King of Pentacles is the older guy, and he's actually literally almost right behind the devil. He's the guy who's responsible for the drugs. Okay? He's responsible for the drugs. He's the one that brought it into the arena and was dispersing it to everybody. Was it an overdose? Was it a bad batch? I don't know. Nobody else went missing. I don't think there's any reports of anybody being sick. You know, so it could have been just something that made her sick, and she lost control going home, and they just haven't found her. Let me pull a couple more cards just to go ahead and end this here. It was interesting. It was slightly different from the other day's reading. Let me just pull a couple of oracle cards and see what's going on here. Kiely, Rodni, Kiely, Rodni. The spiral. It spiraled out of control. Yeah, the party spiraled out of control. The corn, sustenance, abundance, prosperity, hard work. Rewards, hard work, hard work, hard work, hard work. It's like equivalent to the Eight of Pentacles, and that's come up quite a bit. The giveaway, being grateful, letting go of attachments, letting go of attachments. Magic, synchronicities, dreams, signs, miracles. Alright, so again, I feel like everything was all good. Everything was all good. I don't think these girls are as close to one another as they portray. I don't think that they really, truly, deep down care, like a compassionate caring. Like, you know, if you're friends with somebody for like 30 years, you really care for that person. And it's like that's your BFF. Like, you're willing to do anything for them. Doesn't even have to be 30 years, but you know what I mean if you have that good friend. If you have that one friend that it's, you know, do or die. If we die, we're dying together type of person, right? I'm not leaving you. They were not that. Okay, I don't think any of them were, Mags included. Definitely not Sammy, but Mags as well. They just weren't that. They didn't have that at that time. And not that you can't have that at that age. It's just that these three didn't have it. It just is not showing up in the reading. And so it was almost like, again, you know, I'm gonna abandon you before I go down for you type of situation. I'm not going down for giving you something that made you sick. All right, I hope you go home and I hope that you feel better tomorrow, but I'm getting the hell out of here right now, and I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna go to bed and I'm gonna pretend that this didn't happen, and hopefully you're okay tomorrow type situation. And it just isn't, you know, they're to me, that the giveaway card, I'm looking at that giveaway, and I feel like it was something that was given at the party. It was something that was given at the party, but it was something not good because it's coming out reverse. So something was being given away. Something was literally being given away. And I would be curious to know if anybody else got sick. Probably nobody would say anything. Nobody's talking. But the magic, the coincidence, the miracles, the signs, the synchronicities, the dreams. Picking the right path. Outgrowing the current situation. Many paths. Many paths. Many paths. I feel like this is something to do with where they're looking. The path of where she is. The path of where she is. They've looked at many of them, but they haven't looked at the right one. There's signs. There's signs. There's signs where she is. There's signs of where she is. They're not in the right direction. They're not down the right path. They haven't taken the right path yet. They haven't checked the right path yet. The corn, the fields, tall grass. Corn, tall grass, tall fields, trees. What's corn? What's a cornfield? It's dense, right? There's tons of corn. You can get lost in a cornfield. To me, she's in a place that's very, very dense. She's in a dense place. The spiral, she's down. I'm thinking back to that Hermit card, facing down, looking down. Look straight down. Look straight down. Look straight down. Okay, the party not only spiraled out of control, but look straight down. Look straight down from the right path. From the right path, look straight down in a dense location. That's where she is. There's signs. There's signs. All right. There's things there. There's clues that are going to say a car was here. A car was here. All right, guys. I'm going to end it there. I hope you enjoyed this. Hopefully it helps. I pray that they find this poor girl, because I feel like the only way they're going to get any answers is if they find her. But I feel confident that they will, because I feel like there was enough cards to come out tonight to say there's going to be a conclusion to this case. All right. And hopefully it's sooner than later. So, all right, guys, I will see you on the weekend. Have a great rest of your week, and I will talk to you later. Oh, and of course, if you guys are interested in a private tarot reading, please email me. I will have that email address in the description box. And until next week, have a wonderful few days coming up. All right, be safe. Bye.